Hello. Hello. How's everyone? Hello, Brianna. Hello, Anna. How are you guys tonight? Can you hear me okay? Hello, Daniel. How are you today, buddy? Can you hear me okay? Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, one, two, three. Testing, testing, testing. All right. Thank you, Brianna. And I guess we'll wait till a few people get in here, but I guess everybody's heard about Patrick Frazee today. Has everybody heard the update on that? We'll wait till we get a few people in before we go over it. Hear your pulse clear as crystal. That's a lovely way to describe it. Wonder where Armchair Detective's been. He ain't been on in 2 days. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Ashley. Hello, son. How is everyone? Don't forget, thumbs up, please. I haven't really been much up to date on the Patrick Frazee case either. However, though, I did get a notification on my phone as I was coming home from work. Hello, Making Lemonade. How are you? That's a good point, Debbie. It's probably what he's doing. Yeah, recovering from his marathon. Yeah, buddy. Hello, Hillary. How are you tonight? Hope everyone is well on this Monday. Well, it was a Monday too, you could tell. Hello, Cynthia R. How are you tonight? You could really tell it was a Monday, that's for sure. It was definitely Monday. It's the Shadow Man. Run! Yeah, the bad thing is that car beeped out the coded message, and luckily I was able to decipher that coded message. So, hello, Misty. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Pink Lady. Poker right to the table. Poker in the front, liquor in the rear, or liquor in the front, poker in the rear, whatever you prefer. Oh la la la! Hello, Pitbull. How are you tonight? Wonder if Rabbit Dog is going to be in here tonight. I actually watched his video today. It was actually pretty good. Hello, Australia and Cynthia Nick. Hello from Kentucky. How is everyone today? Hopefully good. Your internet's been acting up. What's been wrong with it? Okay. Is there anybody that's kind of like I'm not really up to date on the Frazee case. Is there anybody that's kind of kept up with this case um, kind of like regularly and knows a pretty good deal about it? Anybody? Anybody? Going once, going twice. Oh, get storms. Where are you located, Anna? I'm sure you've told me. That's just so many people I forget. Yeah, I heard guilty on all 8 counts. Hello, Rabbit Dog. I was just talking about you. I was going to say I watched your video this morning when I first got up. Liked it. Very interesting. Um, I agree with a lot of it. Most of it. Most all of it. Yes. I think, Vicky, when you put my Patreon up there, that join between Com and Braun Moxley, that join doesn't need to be there. I don't know what that's about. It's just patreon.com/Braun Moxley. There's no join in there. I don't know what that's about. So just so you know, no big deal. Life without parole plus 156 years. Wow. And that's probably what he deserves. So I was just kind of going over it. I hadn't really kept up much with the case. It looks like he killed his fiance on um, Thanksgiving of 2018 with a ball bat, and then had his I guess secret girlfriend um, called her and said she had a mess to clean up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Colorado, isn't there? Must be something to do with the water. Yeah, they found him guilty on all 8 counts. I just had it pulled up on my phone. Let me see if I can find it. It says a Colorado judge Monday sentenced Patrick Frazee to life in prison without the possibility of parole for killing Kelsey Barrett, his fiancee, who went missing last Thanksgiving. District Court Judge Scott Sells gave Frazee an additional 156 years on several of the 8 charges he was convicted of. I quote the judge saying, "Your actions were vicious and senseless. Kelsey spent her last night caring for you. You repay her by viciously beating her to death. Then you burned her body," unquote, Sells said. Your crimes deserve the absolute maximum punishment, Sells said. A Teller County jury deliberated for 3.5 hours Monday before convicting Frazee, 33, of all charges, including first-degree murder, solicitation to commit murder, and 1 count of tampering with a body. People in the courtroom cried and hugged as the verdict was read. Frazee stood beside the defense counsel, emotionless, and whispered briefly to his attorney. He did not show a reaction to the verdict. During the sentencing phase, several emotional letters from Barrett's family and friends were read aloud in the court. Frazee said nothing on his behalf. Barrett, 29, was the mother of Frazee's toddler daughter. Prosecutors say Frazee beat Barrett with a bat. Her body has not been found. Evidence is overwhelming, prosecution says. During closing arguments, prosecutor Jennifer Veeman showed a photo slide of Barrett. "We all wish Kelsey would walk through that door right now. That's never going to happen," she told jurors. While Kelsey was planning a future, the defendant, this man she was pointing to, Frazee, was planning to kill her for months. The evidence is compelling. It's overwhelming that the defendant is guilty as charged, she said. Crystal Lee Kinney, who was in a relationship with Frazee, testified at the trial last week that he told her his daughter was in imminent danger. Um, According to CNN affiliate KMGH, she testified that he accused Barrett of abusing their child and said he had to do something, CNN affiliate reported. Okay, so that's Kenny testified that Frazee told her to give Barrett a drugged coffee so we can end this. Days later, he gave her a pipe and told her to hit Barrett on the head and to make sure there wasn't a lot of blood. She testified. When Kenny arrived at Barrett's home, a barking dog drove her away, she said. The next day, she testified Frazee gave her a bat and told her to swing away, but she later told him she couldn't do it. Kenny told the court that the couple's 1-year-old daughter was in the apartment when Barrett was killed. She testified that Barrett's last words, according to Frazee, were, "Please stop." Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Wow. Yeah, and supposedly he tried to get one of the guys in the cell with him to kill the nurse, the main witness against him. And here's a timeline of the alleged crime. It said Kenny, which is the nurse, initially lied to FBI agents about whether she knew Barrett and about her disappearance, but she later told investigators Frazee told her he killed his fiancée, and she helped clean up the crime scene and get rid of the body, criminal affidavits said. She took a plea deal, agreeing to testify at Frazee's trial and pleading guilty to a tampering charge, KMGH reported. Frazee's attorneys have argued Kenny had many chances to alert police or family about Frazee's plans. Defense attorney Adam Steigerwald tried to poke holes in the prosecutor's case and Kenny's testimony. "You're being asked to ignore the evidence and a timeline made up by the Crystal Lee," he told jurors. He said Frazee says a lot of stupid things. He does stupid things that allows the prosecution to build a case based on circumstantial evidence, he said. "It's stupidity, but not proof he committed murder," he said. During rebuttal, prosecutor Dan May said Kenny turned against Frazee. "Barrett was someone's daughter and co-worker," May said. "Does this sound like someone who would just disappear? He took a bat into Kelsey's apartment and he beat her. And he beat her, and he beat her, and he beat her, and left a bloodbath for someone else to clean up," May said. Wow, it's pretty heartbreaking. It's very sad. Has anybody got anything to add to that? I couldn't really keep up with the comments while I was reading that, so I don't know if anybody said anything or commented or what. If there is any, you can put it now. I'll try to keep up with them. Yeah, I guess the baby was in the room when her mother was killed, which is totally heartbreaking. I don't know what's wrong with the world, Maddie. We live with a bunch of just freaking nuts anymore. It doesn't seem like you can trust anyone. Apparently, she was caring for him the night before he done this to her. Yeah, that is good news, Anna, that the daughter's with her parents. So according to this article, it sounds like maybe he was sick or something, and the night before, Kelsey was taking care of him, it sounds like. And then to repay her, he beats her to death with a ball bat, which is unbelievable. It would be hard to imagine what kind of death that would be. I pray to God that when I die, I go quickly and peacefully. And I hope I don't have to endure something like this. I don't wish anyone would have to endure something like this. I know you guys hear me talk all the time. I have a daughter myself, and when I read stories like this and hear of cases like this, it absolutely breaks my heart to know that there are men out there that are capable of doing this to someone's daughter, because that is someone's daughter. That's someone's little girl. So that's just heartbreaking to me. And I don't know. I don't really know what to say after I read stuff like this. Um, oh, is Pink? Is that what happened? She got let him blindfold her so to smell a candle. Is that when he hit her with the ball bat? Listen to me. My sound is bad today. You're saying? Listen to me. Is anybody else not hearing my sound very well? Okay, everybody else says it sounds good, so listen to me. It might be on your end. Everybody else says they hear me fine. Thank you guys. Yeah, I know Hartley. It's the sound ain't the thing. Hello, Anna Green. How are you? Yeah, I think I don't even want to imagine if that was my daughter. But if that was my daughter, he would not go to trial. That's for sure. He wouldn't make it that far. I would be the one that would be getting sentenced after killing him. And that's without a doubt. I don't hesitate in telling you guys that whatsoever. Yeah, thank you, Pink. That's just terrible. So in other words, he tricked her, got her to smell a candle, and then hit her with a bat. Jesus Christ, what in the world? That that just scares me to death, knowing that there's men in this world that are capable of doing this. It blows my mind. Um, I mean, I don't know if the world has changed that much, or if I just didn't hear about it when I was a kid, because I'm 43 years old, and it just doesn't seem like you heard of stuff like this when I was a kid. It's like the world's changed a lot. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Maybe I just had a sheltered life. I don't know, but oh yeah, she was beautiful, and had a 1 year old daughter, and so the mother's dead, and the father's in prison for life. Um, yeah, Don, that's true, and we have Google at our fingertips. I can remember when I was a kid, Don. People would walk around your neighborhood knocking door to door, and they would ask you if you wanted to buy a set of encyclopedias. And that's how you kept up with information. If you had the latest set of encyclopedias, then pretty much you had the latest information that was available. Now we have Wikipedia, which updates instantly, constantly, all the time, and it's right there at your fingertips. You just have to have a smartphone or a laptop, basically just some sort of device and internet. Hello, Julia. There's my daughter as we speak. Julia, that just commented, that's my daughter. Hello, Julia. How are you tonight? Yes, very true. Lots of hate. Hello, Kaylin. Anyways, we're talking about the Patrick Frazee case. Um, he was convicted on all 8 charges today. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 156 years um, for the murder of his fiancee, Kelsey Barrett. He murdered her with a ball bat. Um, and apparently, the night before, she was taking care of him. Possibly he was sick. I'm not sure of that. And then the next day, he repays her by beating her to death with a ball bat. So, great guy there. Hello, Kimmy. How are you? She likes the wig. She actually picked it out for me. Don't let her lie to you. Don, in the article I was reading, let me go back to it here and see exactly what it said. It was a comment from the judge. It says, your actions were vicious and senseless. Kelsey spent her last night caring for you, and you repay her by viciously beating her to death. And then you burned her body, the judge said. And that was District Court Judge Scott Sales. So I don't know what he means by that. She's Kelsey spent her last night caring for Patrick. Not right now, Julia. I'm on a serious live tonight. I do the wig and stuff when I do the armpit detective parodies, so I don't want to turn a serious live into something with comedy in it, just for the sake of the family and stuff. So just FYI, I really do love true crime, so I like to be serious when it's about true crime, but at the same time, when I do the parodies, I like to I like comedy. I mean, it's good to laugh and not take life so seriously. None of us are gonna get out alive. I just pray that when it's my time to go, that I go peacefully and quickly, and hopefully don't endure something like Kelsey Barrett endured, or Shanann Watts, or the two little girls. I just can't imagine. Talking about the Watts case for a second, think about this. He said he knew the night before it was going to be the last night he tucked his two little girls in bed. Now you just think for a minute. The two little girls are going to bed, and their daddy's tucking them in. And then the next morning they wake up to him murdering them. Now, I'm sure they don't understand a lot about that, but they have to be terrified. I mean, how I just can't imagine how terrifying that would be. Julia, honey, I'm doing a serious live tonight. I'll put the wig on when I do my parodies. I'm not going to put the wig on during a serious live. This is a true crime update, and I don't want to bring comedy into something as serious as this. Yeah, it's hard thinking about. I don't even know. Yeah, Vicky, they sure did. hopefully, I don't know if you guys are believe in God or anything like that, but um, hopefully they were um, somebody was giving them peace during their last few moments. Yeah, he is. He's a piece of crap. Um, with Chris Watts, he still, he doesn't want to be referred to as a murderer or a monster, and yet that's exactly what he is. He's Chris Watts is not sorry um, for what he did. He's sorry he got caught, and I would say that to his face. I honestly believe that, and I would say it to anybody because that's my honest to God's opinion of him. Yeah, I hope they didn't feel anything either, Pink. Hopefully it was quick. Yeah, Tammy, that's another bad thing about it happening on a holiday like that. Yeah, Don, that blows my mind that he has the nerve to say he's still a husband and a father. No, he's not. He took both of that both of those titles away from himself, and he deserves neither title now. And he has neither title. He, in his mind, he might be, but no, not in reality to anyone else. Hmm. Oh yeah, Pink. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable and what blows my mind is how these women write to Chris Watts and say, "Oh, I feel like you got the bad end of the stick or whatever, and I'm here for you." And I'm sitting here thinking, "Are you that stupid? He killed his daughters." Yeah, Don, I agree completely. Um, it's just, yeah, Rabbit. I know that would be a hard job for me because I know they have to act nice to try to get more information out of him. But I just don't know if I could even act nice to a guy like that. I don't think I could do it. And somebody just said something there. You know how Chris Watts had the pictures of his family in his cell, and he wanted to keep them. What do you guys think about this? And this is just something that I thought of. Should they put the pictures? Should they put the autopsy pictures in his cell and make them stay in there for the rest of his life? Anna, they will have something to be thankful for. Braun, do you know CK? She was writing to a murderer for years till her husband found out. Is CK, is that critical K? Okay. I've heard of CK, but I think I've like visited her channel, but I've not really watched in any great length or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. They need to find a way to punish these guys worse than they are punishing them. Putting them in a temperature controlled environment and giving them 3 meals a day and a soft place to lay down at night is not really punishment. I think they should take them out back and put them on a chain, throw them enough slop to keep them alive. If it rains, too bad. If it snows, too bad. And just leave them out there. And if they get sick, bring them in, give them antibiotics, make sure they don't die, and then stick them right back outside again. Stick them out in the sun, whatever the weather is, just leave them out there. And that's what I think. But this is the United States of America. They're not going to do that. Yeah, waterboard him. That'd be too good for him. He needs something really to, I know I've talked about this many times before, guys. Is somebody said they wished he'd got the death penalty. I don't. I'm glad he got life because if he got the death penalty and he was executed, it's over. That's just the end of it. In prison, he's. I hope he lives a very long life in prison. Is what I wish. Maybe get a cancer that's hard on him, but it doesn't kill him, and just live a suffering life. Yeah, they really do need to like put them on like a guys like Chris Watts on a chain gang and stuff like that. Make them go out there and carry boulders around or dig a big ditch and then just bury it back up and then dig another one. Make them do that about 12 hours a day. And then put them on a steel floor with just enough food to give them the nutrition to live. I agree, Brianna. I think they should give him. Um, I know it's sad to say this, but I think they should give him pictures of the autopsy to hang in his cell and say that's what you done to your family. I mean, he had a yeah. I mean, they had financial trouble, but I mean, who doesn't go through financial trouble at some times unless you're rich and got plenty of money. Um, but other than that, he had it made. A beautiful house, big house. Both had good jobs, two beautiful children, a third one on the way, and Nicole Kessinger wasn't even. I didn't think all that. Like she reminded me of somebody like once the new wore off, you wouldn't want to be dating her anymore. You know what I mean? Like if you're having sex 5 times a day, um, that's going to be okay till the new wears off the relationship, and then you're going to be like, you got to go because if he's already having to talk her off the ledge and they've just been on a 2 week affair, then something's not right there. That should be like a warning sign. That's like a red flag. Like get away. And I just don't get it, guys. I don't. Oh yeah, she was beautiful and sweet as a sweet soul. Kept the house immaculate. I mean, look at the house. It was clean. She cooked for him. Um, Kept a good house. Took care of the children. Um, he had it made. Good night, Hartley. Sweet dreams. Yeah, Maddie. I don't know. I don't understand it. Yeah, Rabbit. That's a good point. I actually said something to that degree the other night. He said he pled guilty quickly so he wouldn't put the family through the torture of seeing, reliving it over and over and over. And then yet, look what he's doing now. They're reliving it over and over and over with each one of his confessions. Yeah, soul diversity, I do too. I don't think we'll ever know. Well, Tammy, the only thing about that, though, is if you put them to death, then it's over. I mean, that's just kind of an easy way out, in my opinion. Um, I think they need to make them suffer. And that's just my opinion. In my um, channel, you have the right to disagree. You don't have to agree with everything I say, like other channels. But I'm right and you're wrong. And that's just the way it is. Okay, Hillary, good night. Sweet dreams. You know what they should do? They should give you that drug that paralyzes you, like you get when you're in surgery, but yet you're still awake and you're having a hard time breathing. That's what they should give you every day, and just let you sit there and struggle to breathe, and make sure you don't die, and and then do it all over again to you. And guys, I've got um, a brutal opinion on this. Just so you know, I have no use for people like Chris Watts, um, Patrick Frazee, anybody that would do stuff like they did are just no good in my book. And some of you might not agree with me. You might think that's too harsh, and you're perfectly fine to disagree with me. So, Humpy and Bex, there's no way to say that he can't. He probably will try it again. Um, it's hard to say. It's just there's a lot of evil in this world, guys. But that covers the Frazee case. Guilty on all 8 counts. Life plus 156 years in prison. Um, yeah, listen to me. The only thing about that is the reason they probably won't do that, and I don't know this for sure, but he's already got 5 life sentences, and if they did that, they would have to try him again or give him a plea deal, and that would take up money, resources, and things like that. And since he's already on 5 life sentences, they would probably just say, "What's the point?" I know with Glenn Rogers, the serial killer I told you guys about, the one that took me to get my first ever paycheck, he's on death row in it's either Florida or he's on death row in some state. I'll look it up and find out. But the other states, once he had the death penalty there, they didn't try to get him brought to those other states um, to try him on the charges they had on him, because it would just cost money, resources, time, just a lot of stuff that's like, well, what's the point if he's on death row in another state? Tammy Nelson, that is a very good question. Very good question. That's like the $27,000 question. Um, oh, shell shock. That's ooh. Mm. Tammy, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, look at Chris Watts, how long he um, appeared normal to. Yeah, listen to me. I seen that, and you know that they've actually lined up the timeline, and they actually believe that he was in that town when those two murders happened, and they also believe that he was working on the construction crew that was doing work on her house. So there's kind of getting more credibility to his story about killing Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Yeah, mothers or fathers that kill their children, Don. I was just, hello, Dania. How are you tonight? I agree, Rabbit Dog. He seems so normal. And Glenn Rogers, he's a serial killer. He was caught back in like 1995. Um, he was working on like county fairs, and he was going all over the country just killing different women. Glenn Rogers took me to get my first paycheck. I worked in tobacco when I was 14 years old, and he took me and my best friend to pick up our paychecks from the tobacco company we worked at. Good. Yeah, doing good, Denny. Thanks for asking. Jinx Clark, I've always thought OJ was guilty. It's just putting the information out there that Glenn Rogers, he might be claiming it for the notoriety. It's just that the timeline that they've worked out has put him in the area. So they're saying there is sort of like credibility to it, but they've not substantiated anything for sure. Um, Aces, Chris Coleman, is that the guy that worked for the pastor? What was her name? The really Joyce Meyer. Is that who Chris Coleman is? Yeah, I seen that story. That was a wild story there too, and he was like a top security guard for one of the biggest female pastors in the country. So diversity. I've always watched like Investigation, Discovery, Oxygen. I've probably seen every episode of Forensic Files there was ever made, and mostly just watched it on TV. I knew what YouTube was. I knew you could pretty much look up anything you wanted to watch on YouTube. And then one night, the Chris Watts case come up on my YouTube as recommended, and I started watching the police body cam footage. And I didn't even know that he had killed his family when I was watching when he first pulled up to talk to Nicole Atkinson. I didn't even know the whole story. So I started watching the body cam evidence or footage. And then I end up watching the documentary, and it was just like that case just kind of hooked me in. And I've just had a real, I don't want to say love for the case because I don't want to love anything that's that horrific, but I just a real like fascination with it. Cold case files, American Justice. I know we talked about this one night. What was the guy's name that narrated American Justice? He had a. I always liked his narrations of voices. His voice. Somebody just told me his name the other night, and I've already forgot it. My mind's shot in my 40s. Bill Curtis. Yeah, that's it, Jinxie. Very good. Thank you. Bill Curtis is the guy that narrated that show, and I always thought he had just a great voice to narrate that show. And I don't know if you guys remember this one. This is an older one, but Unsolved Mysteries from like the late '80s, early '90s, when Robert Stack hosted that show. He had the perfect voice for that show. And for you guys that don't know the show Unsolved Mysteries, you can go on YouTube and watch it. I think it might be on Amazon Prime too, but I know you can watch episodes of it on YouTube and just listen to his voice. If he tells like a really scary case, like I was just a young kid when it was on, when popular back in the late '80s and '90s, and I can remember his voice would I would get scared so bad I couldn't sleep that night. And I still remember Unsolved Mysteries that always came on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And I remember my dad made it where I could no longer watch that. Really, Don? My voice puts you to sleep? Sorry about that. No, not Walsh. It's Robert Stack. He hosted or narrated Unsolved Mysteries. And did you all guys see in the interview with Sherlyn Cadle that that Chris Watts planned on taking Shanann's phone with him to work that day to answer the text messages and stuff that she would be getting, and just out of carelessness, he forgot the phone at the house. So, had he not forgotten the phone and taken it with him, of course, he said there when they found the phone that he didn't know the code. That I guess she had changed it. Now, did he really know the code or not? That's something we'll never know, probably. But had he taken the phone that day and known the code, this case might not be solved right now, because he could have answered all of her texts and calls and just said she's not feeling well, this, that, and the other. And of course, if Nicole Atkinson had texted her and he replied, pretending to be Shanann, he could have said, "I'm not feeling well, so I've rescheduled my doctor's appointments." She probably wouldn't even have came down there and called the police. Yeah, Vicky. I'm not saying he would have got away with it. I'm just saying that is something that was brought up in the Cadle interview. That yeah, Daniel, it could have all gone differently. Um, Now, the OJ trial, I do remember my mom watching it every day, all day, um, until the verdict came out. I remember that. And it seemed like, of course, I was a kid when this happened. Well, 94, I was, let's see, 18 in 94. Um, I thought, man, that's the longest trial in the history of the world, because it just seemed like it went on and on and on. So does anybody know the deal with AD? Why he hasn't been on for a couple days? I'm looking right now. He's not on tonight either. Is he over on Patreon or anything like that, or does anybody know? Oh yeah, I agree, Anna. I think a lot of people were shocked when OJ was found not guilty. It's really unbelievable. He is exhausted. He's interviewing the red car. He's probably out gambling people's money away, I would say. But I don't know that for sure. I shouldn't say that. I don't guess. I don't know that for sure. Probably buying subs. I don't know. I'd say that I heard that the armpit detective is going to interview the Bush later this week. If you guys are interested in that, I don't know if you are or not. Who's interested in seeing the armpit detective interview the Bush? Yeah, Daniel, that's true. You reckon somebody else might have striked him? Yeah, my mom was the same way. Um, Pink. She watched that trial every day it was on. $782 subscribers. We've got Bush. Do you now, hot aces? I love the armpit detective. He is a very good detective. Don't beat around the bush. Looking at NK photos. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's so ridiculous. I was seeing somewhere today, they keep up in some groups with his Patreon, how it drops and stuff. And they said his Patreon had dropped quite a bit today, which a lot of people figured it would after the Cheryl and Caitlin interview. Sex and child porn rate in Canada, over 300 children, 100 women. As arrested plea. No, I haven't heard about that, Dawn. When did that happen? Well, good for him. I'll have to join his daughter Patreon just so I can keep up with his content. Somebody sent me a pretty vicious message this morning and said, "You are an idiot and your English accent is shit." And I just said, "Thank you." If they try to get me going, I just agree with them, and that confuses them, and then they run off pretty quickly. Yeah, he's probably hiding from me. Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense because he makes a lot in super chat. I'm surprised he would give that up for Patreon. It looks like he would do Patreon and YouTube so he could get. Can you get super chat in Patreon? I don't know. Hello, Carol. How are you tonight? Yeah, that would be nice, Don. Thank you, Vicky. Wonder where Jessie's at tonight. She stayed up pretty late last night, so she might be in bed tonight. Where did you get that message at, Brian? On it was comments on my YouTube videos. I can't remember which one it was, but it was just on YouTube messages. It's 488, 12 more, and he said he already hit the 500 mark. He's actually dropping. He hit 504, I believe. YouTube. That's how you say it, isn't it, Daniel? I'm not sure. I'm Southern. YouTube. I say Washington, and I wash clothes in a washer and dryer, not washer and dryer. Hello, Aussie Lassie 07. Water. It's okay, Welsh lady. Better late than never. That's what I always heard. Feel me? YouTube. That's what I say. YouTube. I don't know. Well, I started to tell you about my job today, but I don't. I like to keep my job separate from here. So, and it's nothing against you guys. It's just something I seen happen to Mary Marlowe back when I used to watch her. Somebody actually caught her job so much and got her fired. So I try to keep my job separate from on YouTube. What? That said my English accent sucked? Pink. Whoever it was this morning, they told me that I was pathetic as shit and that my English accent sucked. Anon gal, that was from you? That message? I don't think that was from you. The name don't sound familiar. Hello, Hyde. Good eye, mate. Looking forward to your 1,000 subscriber? Yes. I wonder who will be my 1,000 subscriber. I need to do like some kind of special thing for the 1,000 subscriber. Armchair like a pirate. Armchair detective. No hiding place. No hiding place from armpit. I don't think I'd want to be hiding in an armpit. That's just me, though. What's Somerset's old diversity? I seen I left you a message about Mary Marlowe because she said 80s woman or men took her accounts over. Yeah, I seen that. I was actually still watching her when she said all that stuff. And that's when I actually quit watching her because I was, honest to God, worried about her mental health. And I was afraid that she was going to have a mental breakdown. And I did not want to watch that happen. And that's when I actually um, left her channel because I really felt like the case was breaking her down. Yeah, what about Somerset, Kentucky? I'm just a couple of counties away from Somerset, Kentucky. That's where Daniel Bishop is from. And oh, okay. Um, I see that Daniel Bishop made a video this morning. I don't know if you guys seen it. Um, he said that he wasn't going to be on YouTube as much anymore. That he was spending the time with his family like a family man should be. And he his video he did before that, he had some cuts and stuff on his wrist, and I'm pretty sure that you could tell he was showing them on purpose. You know, he wanted you to see him. That's the impression I got. And he made comments about that in his video today. He said, as most of you seen the cuts on my arm from my last video, he said, had the knife been a little bit sharper or a little bit something else, I wouldn't be here making this video. And I just thought that was pretty sad. But he said he wouldn't be on YouTube as much, that he would be on from time to time to make a video here and there, but not as much as he used to. That he was doing other things and I guess working on his family life. I don't know if YouTube caused him family problems or not. I don't know. I just know that he's not going to be on YouTube as much. Daniel Bishop, Mrs. Kelly, he has a channel. I think it's Daniel Bishop 9147 is the actual name of it. Brianna, your family has a cabin on Lake Cumberland, really? Lake Cumberland is beautiful down through there, I think. Yeah, I feel sorry for Mary Marlowe too. Um, when I first started watching Mary Marlowe, I really, really liked her channel, and I thought she was doing real good, going over the case. Sticking with the discovery. And then that one day, she just came out and she was like, AD has hacked my camera and he's watching me naked and he sold it on the dark web. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, I really started worrying after I seen that video. And then she was actually on a live, and the police showed up at her house to do a welfare check on her. So apparently, somebody had called the police, worried about her, I guess, mental health. And the police showed up while she was doing a live. And while the police were there, she was explaining to them about trolls were attacking her and stuff like that. And the cop was just kind of looking at her like, what? But I really started worrying about Mary Marlowe after watching those videos. Um, and I unsubscribed. And I just felt like she was losing it mentally over this case. I felt like the case was really taking a toll on her, and I just didn't want to witness that firsthand. And that's kind of actually what, when I unsubscribed from her, is what got me to start my own channel. Um, so no, I don't think so. We was going over the Frazee guilty verdict earlier, Judy. We kind of got off topic since then and have just been pretty much talking about other stuff. But at the first, we did go over the Frazee trial verdict. Guilty on all 8 counts. He was sentenced to life plus 156 years. And then we, in this on this channel, we'll start out with a certain topic, and then we kind of just go wherever the conversation takes us. That's how I've been doing it. There's really no like set story to my channel. Maybe in the future, I might have like a program to follow. But as for now, no, just kind of go along with the flow. We usually got pretty much the same people here every night. We all get along pretty good and just have good conversation. I think we do anyway. I hope you all feel the same way. I like spending my evenings with you. I actually look forward to doing this myself. And that's just me personally. I know the channel is growing really fast. I know it was last Friday. It was 500 subscribers, and now it's already up to almost 800 in just a few days, and that just blows my mind. No, Rabbit, I haven't seen it, but I've never really watched Jewels of Thought or Mommy Ramblings. I've tried watching Mommy Ramblings, but doesn't she just kind of stay up all night on a live and then I guess sleeps during the day? I don't know. Thank you, Soul Diversity. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rabbit Dog. I'm not going to be like AD and say I never watch any other channels. I do check out other channels. And if I have a interest in it or I get like a good feeling, hello, Michelle, how are you? I'll subscribe to it. And, for instance, I'm subscribed to Lex and I like James Bogart. I like Paradox Channel. Mommy Ramblings I've watched. I don't watch her a lot. I don't know. It just kind of feels like more like I would say more like a ladies' room to be in my opinion. It might not be. There might be plenty of men in there. I don't know. I just haven't spent a lot of time in there. I do work a full-time job, and I'm trying to get my YouTube channel up and going pretty good. So I've been putting quite a bit of time in my YouTube channel. Buying new equipment. I bought a new camera and a new microphone, and then I'm working on getting a green screen backdrop. And then I got the wig, and I've been putting a lot into YouTube. I didn't realize it's a lot of work, and if I could see it being a full-time job, but I actually do have to work a full-time job though, and then I also have my 13-year-old daughter, which is also another full-time job. So I pretty much got like 3 full-time jobs right now, and I'm sleeping about 4 or 5 hours a night. Judy Wood, would you like to discuss more about the Frazee verdict? If you'd like, we can. Mel's messaged me earlier today. She's doing good. She asked me to delete the video that she did with me Saturday night. It made her mom a little nervous, and everyone wants to know the story about the picture behind me. Yeah, that You all wouldn't believe me if I told you the story about that picture. Oh, it's completely up to you, Judy. I was just wondering if you wanted to go over it some more. I didn't know if you did or not. Um, it's completely up to you. I just didn't want you to be fooled by the title of the live that it was the Frazee case update, and then you come in and it not be. Well, if you want to know the story about that picture, um, when I first moved out on my own, um, now this is a crazy story now, but it's true. Um, I would go through the rich neighborhood and on garbage day, and the rich neighborhood would always throw out really nice stuff. I mean, really nice stuff. And I found this picture one day in the garbage, and I really didn't care for the picture, but I really liked the frame it was in. And I mean, I don't know if you can tell how nice the frame is um, just in the video, but the frame is really, really nice. And I thought to myself, I like that. So I picked it up, and this has been years and years ago now, probably 20 plus years. But I've just always kept that picture. And so that's the story behind it. I don't even know. It actually looks, it definitely is butterflies. It is butterflies, but it almost looks like a present wrapping paper that you would wrap someone's present in. Now, I don't know if that's what that is, but that's what it looks like. But it's just the frame. If I could find a really good picture to put in that frame, it would be really nice. That's what it looks like, Michelle. It looks like wrapping paper. But then again, it don't, because the gold butterflies um, looks like thread. So I don't know. I've never opened it up, so I don't know what material it's made of or anything. But the butterflies is actually like, it looks like thread's been sewn through to make the butterflies. The gold things are all butterflies. Like, there, see that outline of the butterfly? I don't know if it's worth anything or not. Like I said, I got it out of the garbage years and years and years ago, and I've just always held on to it. I've always loved the frame more than what's in it. But like I said, it looks like wrapping paper, but I don't believe it is. Um, that would be really nice, Son Ray. I've never even checked behind it. You know how a lot of people hide money in their picture frames, especially not nowadays, but back in older times, like your grandmother and grandfather would hide money in picture frames. And that would be kind of funny if I ever did open it up and found like $1,000 or something. That would be pretty cool. Thank you, Tracy. It really is. I don't know if you guys can tell it in the video, but that frame is super nice, and it doesn't look that big on camera, but that picture is huge. Oh yeah, I used to love going through the garbage in the rich neighborhoods. I used to love doing that. I have found so much stuff. I found a lawnmower one time that was brand new, and it was an older lady that had threw it in the garbage. And the only thing was wrong with it was a push mower that had a key start on it, and the key start wasn't working. And I asked her if it was in the garbage, and she said, yeah. And she told me what was wrong with it. And I told her, I said, I think I can actually fix that for you if you want me to. So I was going to fix her lawnmower that she had thrown away. And she said, well, no, she was up in her 80s, and she still mowed her yard. And she said she liked doing it for the exercise. And she said, no, I've already went and bought me another lawnmower, so I don't need that one. You can have it. And she said, if you want it, take it. And because she needed one that had a key start on it, where she was older. She couldn't pull start it, but once she got it started, she could mow. And I went, took it home, and all it needed was the battery charged up on it. So it was, and I looked it up on Lowe's.com website. It was like a $400 and something lawnmower. So just pretty. I've got all kinds of stories I could tell you guys. You wouldn't believe half the stuff I've done, stuff I found, and things like that. I don't know why I don't do that anymore. I found so much nice stuff. I probably should start doing it again. Oh, I know why I don't have time to do it. That's right. I got a full-time job, kids, and a YouTube channel I'm putting all my time into. Um, but I have found so much. I have found picture frames with money in it, but it wouldn't be much, like $20 or something. Which, I mean, that's a pretty good little chunk. But I think the most I ever found in a picture. I have found Confederate money in a picture frame, and quite a bit of Confederate money. But of course, I mean, Confederate money might be worth something to a collector, but as far as like actual value with the Federal Reserve, it doesn't have any value. Yeah, my daughter's definitely time consuming. She's in color guard, and I have subscribed. Really nice chat group here. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, and come back whenever you like. You're always welcome here. Yeah, that's definitely true, Michelle. Thank you for joining, Judy. Yeah, you you sure do learn a lot from them. That's for sure. Yeah, I smoke. Bad habit, but I do it. This is a smoking room, by the way. We all smoke here. Or, well, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. I actually, to be honest with you guys, I know it's a bad habit, but I actually kind of enjoy smoking in a weird sort of way. I feel you on that, Daniel. I get the same sort of feeling. It's got just that cozy, comfortable type feeling. Yeah. So the Patrick Frazee case, he's got life plus 156 years. Yeah, and I enjoy smoking too. I really do. It gives me something to do. I know it's bad for you, and you don't need to do it, and it really does affect the price of your health insurance. Believe it or not, like it's a major factor in determining the premiums on your health insurance. Thank you, Rabbit Dog. I appreciate that. Not wacky tobacco, normal. Hugs. See you soon. I smoke too here in Australia. Pack 20 red, $38. For a pack of cigarettes in the state I'm in, it's about $6 a pack. I usually get a carton for around $51. You get them a little bit cheaper if you buy a whole carton. Alaska. You know, I've always whereabouts do you live in Alaska, Anna? I watched that. I smoked that wacky for 30 years, but no more. That's pretty funny. Anna, I watched a 354 pack. Well, that's not bad. Where are you at, Pink Lady? Um, I watched a show on I think it was Amazon called something below freezing. Um, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it shows about four different families on, and then some of them are like one of them's a woman, and she has like a airport landing strip, and then she has a place where you can sleep there. And I don't, yeah, Life Below Zero. That's it. I once I watched that show, I really thought, man, it would be nice to live in Alaska. And I mean, not. It looks like it'd be hard work, but it looks like it'd be really, really peaceful. I've always thought that the Bush family. What's the one guy's name on there? He was married, or his wife or a woman lived with him at first, and he's an older guy. And man, he was freaking snappy to her. And in the later episodes, she's not with him anymore. But he was just a real jerk to her. And he had white hair, and he used the dog sled instead of the snow machines because he said they were dependable. He had like 30 or 40 dogs out in his yard. Um, I can't think of his name, but like I said, the first few seasons, his wife or girlfriend was there with him, and she's gone now. And I live in Kentucky, Pink, but I can't think of that guy's name on Life Below Zero. But man, he was an asshole. Oh, that's an interesting story. $10 a carton, 200 in Indian Reserve. Wow. Damn, it's 2 a.m. and I'm up for work early morning. I need to hit the hay. Great show, bro. Nice chat. Good night, Rabbit Dog. And I really did enjoy your video this morning on the Watts case. If you make any more, I set my notifications for you. So I'll be watching. And thank you for enjoying the channel. Doing coke. Damn, Michelle. You sound like me when I was younger. I was a damn idiot when I was younger. That's a good thing about my job. I have pretty much banker's hours. I go in around 9:15 in the morning, and I get off at 5:45 at night. We are having a lot of construction on the exit I take off the interstate. It usually takes me on a normal night about 30 minutes to get home, but with the construction that's going on, good night, Rabbit. It's taken us. Me and my son work together, and it's taken us about 45 minutes to an hour to get home when it usually takes 30 minutes to 25 to 30 minutes. And that's why I've been coming on so late. Usually I can get on earlier. You know, I think what I'm going to start doing, guys, is on the weekend because I've noticed that a lot of my audience is in the UK, and a lot of you guys has been asking me if it's possible I could come on earlier. So I'm thinking maybe on Saturday and Sunday, possibly coming on maybe like at your guys like 8 o'clock in the UK, which I guess would be about 3 o'clock my time. If you all wanted me to do that, I could do that on the weekends, and then during the week come on of the evenings. Um, if that Albany, Kentucky, yeah, I think you said that, Pink. I think I remember you saying that. Didn't you say he lives somewhere else now, like Somerset or something now, or Louisville or something? Might have been somebody else. There's so many people in here I talk to. Um, And a lot of them have the same name. Like, you wouldn't believe it, but there's another Pink girl with the name title Pink in her name, and Jamestown. Okay. Uh, I'm not sure when Crystal Kenny will be sentenced. I know she took a plea deal, right? She pled guilty to tampering with evidence. Oh, I'm sorry, Pink. I didn't know. I apologize. Um, Let me look and see if I can find out when Frazee's girlfriend gets sentenced. I know she pled guilty to tampering with evidence. Does anybody know? Yeah, I know, Michelle. It's growing faster than I ever thought it would. Just last Friday, it was 500 subs, and tonight it's getting close to 800. It blows my mind. Um, Good day, Diane. How are you tonight? Let me see if I can find out. Her name's Crystal Kenny, right? Crystal Kenny. Is it Kenny or Kennedy? Yeah, I know, Jinxie. Every one of my subs are real. I watched a video on some channel this morning. Crystal Lee Kenny. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Um, I get what I do is I'll start watching videos, and then before I know it, I've watched. You know how it automatically will play the next video, and then before you know it, you've watched several videos in a row. Well, I was watching a video this morning, and it talked about like checking when AD subscribers were last active on his channel, and it says that like 41,000 of his 44,000 subs haven't even been active on his channel since 2017. So if that's the case, it sounds to me like he probably only has really like 3,000 subs. There's no way he has 44,000 because the numbers don't add up. He never has more than he doesn't even have 1,000. But what I'm saying is it's usually like 600 to 800 in his live chats, and then most of his videos will have 6 or 7,000 views, and then sometimes, like if he has a real popular one, it'll go up in the 10,000s. But I mean, I've got some videos that's got 3,000 views, and I've only got 800, less than 800 subscribers. So you see, it could work like that. Yeah, I've watched Abigail's channel. That might be the channel it was on that I seen that on, because she was covering all his videos, basically about how he begs for money and stuff. Let's see, Crystal Lee Kenny. I'll see if it says when she'll be sentenced. Okay, let's see if I can find out when she'll be sentenced. December 2nd? Okay. Well, Captain of My Soul says she'll be sentenced December 2nd. And I couldn't find anything right then, so I'll go with what he, she. I don't know if Captain and myself is a he or a she because I can't tell by the name. Um, so I'll just take their word for it. Yeah, and Michelle, and a lot of people can't figure out why she got involved with this because um, it just doesn't make any sense. They said that, okay, she, Captain of my soul, she, um, she was what, a nurse and like a beauty contest contestant, and she just apparently had everything, had it made, and pretty much just threw everything away for this guy that obviously, yeah, the rodeo, that's what it was, didn't give two shits about her because if he did, he wouldn't have two girlfriends in the first place if he cared about either one of them. One thing you'll learn about me, guys, is I'm blunt, and you won't have to worry about what I think. I will tell you what I think, and if you're a man and you have two girlfriends, you don't care about either one of them, and that's just my opinion. Um, how does a guy have time for two girls anyway? I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have time for a girlfriend, and I just don't see how a guy could make time for two girls. I just don't see that. I don't know, Michelle. That's a good question. Thank you, Diane. Oh, really? Aces. Wow. Yeah, I understand that, Dawn. That's like at one show on TLC where the guy has like 7 or 8 wives. Why would you want to do that for? I mean, I don't understand. Wow, guys, we've been going over an hour and a half already. Time really does fly on these lives. One thing's for sure, if I ever do turn this into my full time job, my work day will go fast. That's for sure. I don't know if I'll ever be able to turn it into my full time job. I need to get a lot better at editing my videos and stuff like that. But I am completely new to all this stuff. So I am taking baby steps um, on my channel. For instance, like this program I'm using now, where I can have on a guest for an interview if I needed to, like Saturday night. Um, I can now bring on a guest where I've got the StreamYard. I've got the new camera on my laptop. I was using my phone. I'm using my laptop now with my new camera, and I've got my new microphone. Everybody was saying they was having a hard time hearing me. I guess I've got that cleared up because everybody says the sound's real good. Okay, Michelle. Good night. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Vicky. Um, so yeah, two turntables and a microphone. I really do want to get in the future sometime a MacBook, and the only reason I say that is because I have a an iPhone, and I know I use my iMovie sometimes on my iPhone, and it's really easy to edit movies on there. But I've watched videos on YouTube um, where a guy uses his MacBook and his iPhone, and it looks really, really simple. I find cheating disgusting also. In the middle of getting away from someone who refuses to be loyal, it's gross. No, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. I hope so. So I guess time will tell. Well, thank you, Vicky. Appreciate that. Very true, Pink. If you're not happy, um, good afternoon to you, Aussie Lassie. I guess that's how you pronounce it. That's what it looks like. Would love to donate. Well, I do have a Patreon and I have a PayPal. So diversity. I don't like to do what AD does and ask, but if anybody would like to support the channel, um, you're more than welcome to, and I do appreciate it. 64-inch TV and watching me on your lap. Well, that's like my daughter. We have pretty much a big TV in every room. At least 3 or 4 TVs. I can't remember which one it is, and they're all fairly good sized TVs. I have them all hung on the wall, and I'll go in her room and she'll be watching a movie on her iPhone, and I'm like, "You got this great big TV hanging on your wall, and you're watching a movie on your iPhone with your ear pods in." And I'm like, "Wow." So I don't understand that. There's my Patreon soul and also my PayPal. And like I said, it's completely up to you guys. I'm not going to make a big fuss about it like other channels do. I do really enjoy doing my channel, though. I'm not going to lie about that. I do enjoy it very much. Ooh. Yeah, Brianna, L8. It's the best thing ever. 4G, probably 4K. Wow, really, Don? That's crazy. Um, at my last job, not where I work now, we had a little gazebo where everybody went and smoked in. And every night in there'd probably be 10 or 12 people there at the same time. And everybody was on their phones. And I always thought to myself, what did we all do before we had our phones? And somebody said, we all used to talk to each other. So, hippie chick, I don't understand what that means. You look like Cole Sax dancer. In the sun, yeah, we used to play outside. Yeah, we used a payphone. Ain't that the truth? Oh, what did I correct, Pink? I didn't even realize I corrected you on anything. What did I correct you on? I don't even remember correcting you on anything. The chat moves too fast for me. A lot of times I can't keep up with it. So I might actually miss something y'all say. Um, all right, Brianna, have a good night. Oh, okay, I understand. Um, I do know now what AD means, like using this StreamYard application to do this. You know how you watch stuff on YouTube? Well, this looks completely different than YouTube. I don't know if I can slow it in the settings on this because I'm using the StreamYard, Diane. So I don't know if I can slow it down on this one or not. I can go over to YouTube and watch it, but it's about 30 seconds behind, so it won't look right. Yeah, if I get a whole lot much more subscribers, I'm just going to have to pay attention to talking and not be reading the comments, because if I do that, I'm always going to be disrupting my train of thought, and I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. As bad as that sounds. Can you slow down the comments in the StreamYard app, Don? Because that's what I'm in. This looks completely different than YouTube. I'm not actually on the YouTube page. I'm on the um, StreamYard.com page. So I don't know if I can slow it. I know you can slow it down on the YouTube page, but I didn't know if you could slow it down on this page or not. I haven't seen any place to slow it down, so I don't know. Yeah, I won't be able to talk to y'all. Not if I read the comments and talk both, I'll be in real trouble. I'll have to look over, catch one comment, and either talk about it or respond to it or elaborate on it, and then miss 20 other comments while I get done with the one, and then I'll go back to the next one. That's what I'll have to do, because I won't be able to do all that at the same time. There's no way, because right now, and I've told this to you guys before, I'll be just like right now, talking about something, and I'll look over here and read a comment, and then I'll come over here to finish what I was talking about, and I'll have completely forgot my train of thought, and then I look like a total idiot, because not only have I lost my train of thought there, trying to remember what I was thinking about, I've lost my thought about the comment I read, and then I'm just sitting there looking like I'm froze up and don't know what to say. Yeah, bloody women. You know how women are around me. There's a bunch of women over there, guys. I don't want them to see me or hear me. They'll be over here pestering me. You know how women are with me. Bloody women. That's to me, that was a very disrespectful comment that he said bloody women. I really didn't like that at all. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but that was just total disrespectful on another level, in my opinion. And that's what gets me about AD is hello, Pink Sunset. See, Pink Lady, I told you there was another person that had pink in their name. But that's another thing that gets me about AD is most of his supporters are older women, and he is so disrespectful towards women. It just blows my mind. And I can't understand why the women keep contributing to him when he's as disrespectful as he is. I don't understand that at all. What's PC, Don? I know what that stands for. I just can't think of it. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I know what you mean there. I was watching a show. It was a WWF wrestling pay per view the other day, and some of the signs in the crowd. If you had those in the crowd today, you would be in pretty bad trouble. I've been on for an hour and 45 minutes. Pink Sunset. Ain't that terrible hippie chick? That's good. That's a good point, Jinxie. I didn't even think about that. I'll rewatch you later, but hang till the end. Cool. I might go for 2 hours, Pink. That's about another 13 minutes, and that'll give me about enough time just to get to bed and get some sleep. Um, and yeah, that Peterson woman, she donates a lot of money to him in Super Chat. Yeah, hippie. They're supposed to be. And guys, I might sound corny for saying that, but we all enjoy true crime, and we all see like the real bad in all of us. For instance, the Frazee case, the Watts case, and different things like that. So it almost makes me want to be a little bit nicer to everyone. Um, Rhonda, that you said that. I'm a very big University of Kentucky basketball fan. Um, and my daughter has made me several pictures of UK that she's drawn in art class throughout her school years. Um, and I've got them framed out in my garage. And I'll show you. I got something I want to show you guys where I'm a big UK fan. Let me show you this. You'll really like this, I think. Maybe not if you're not a UK fan. Check this out. It's a University of Kentucky basketball championship belt. I had that custom made by a belt making company. You guys might think this is crazy, but I actually collect championship belts. And my son is 22 and my daughter is 13. But I actually collect championship belts. And I had this one made. It's 4mm plates on a real leather strap. It is it has the real leather backing to cover the bolts. It's just like a belt you would see on say like WWE TV. It's the same quality as one of them. As you can see, the leather's really floppy. But get back to the subject. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's probably about 7 pounds. But it has like the national championship stuff on it. It's nickel plated, zinc alloy plates on real leather. It's very heavy. It snaps just like a real championship belt would. I had it made by a company called Championship Dreams in Texas. Yeah, I like wrestling a lot, Diane. Um, I'm not. I don't really have a biggest collection as I used to have. I used to have like 16 belts at one time, and a lot of these belts can get really expensive. No, I'm not no pro wrestler at all. I just I've liked wrestling all my life, and what happened was is I was just looking through some Google photos one day, just kind of just kind of like Google picture surfing, and I seen a belt, and it was a Florida Gators belt, and it gave me the idea to have this made. Um, no, I never wrestled, Diane. I liked wrestling, but seeing that Florida Gators belt gave me the idea to do this, and that's what gave me the idea. But you can see it's got a lot of detail in it. My favorite wrestler of all time was probably Sting, and then I also liked CM Punk a lot. Who do you like? Who's your favorite team, Pink Lady? Wrestling. Yeah, that's what I used to hear called wrestling. You want to wrestle me, Jerry Lawler? Oh, really? That's cool. Ric Flair. Woo! Indiana. Oh, Lord. Is wrestling fake? No, people are fake. Wrestling's real. The Undertaker. Yeah, he was a good one. He's probably one of the best characters of all time. The Undertaker is, in my opinion. Depends on what era you grew up in. Yeah, they can get hurt for real. Just look at what happened to Owen Hart. He got killed in the ring. The Giant. The Giant or Andre the Giant? Rowdy Piper. Rowdy Piper. He died. Andre the Giant. Yeah, he was a good one. There's pretty good documentary about him on HBO. Big Daddy Giant Haystacks. You can tell what era of wrestling we're from by whose name we bring up. The Rock. He's fine. Well, you're the first woman I've ever heard say The Rock is fine. Batista. Yeah, we talked about Cadle and AD's interview the other day a little bit. Um, went over it a little bit the other day. Is there something in particular you want to talk about it, Pink? Yeah, I remember the Bushwhackers. You're very welcome, Diane. No problem at all. I'll always stick up for people, especially against a sleazeball like AD. Vin Diesel. Well, Vin Diesel was a movie star. He wasn't really a wrestler. There was a wrestler named Diesel, but it wasn't Vin Diesel. Yeah, somebody said that she basically, um, you could have pulled her book straight from Discovery. Oh, I understand. Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. Yeah, they're both passed on now. He's probably off making a film somewhere, Andrea. He's probably making his next premiere. He's been on Facebook today. Yeah, I don't watch him on. I don't go watch him on Facebook. He sure is missing out on a lot of super chat, which kind of surprises me a little bit that he would give up that much super chat. Yeah, that's true, Andrea. He's worked a lot. He said he was mentally and physically zonked. Of course, I don't see how you could get zonked doing what he does. Yeah, that's true. He might have made enough off of Cato to go gambling. AD's grows pink. Is that who you're talking about? Okay, guys, I've got 783 subscribers. Need 217 to be 1,000. Let's see if we can get 1,000 before the end of the night. Well, I'm at 2 hours, guys, so I'm going to hop off here and get me some sleep, and I'll be back tomorrow night, probably around the same time, 7:30. If you want to join me, and if you want me to take a day off, just let me know. But anyways, it's been good spending the evening with you guys. So some ad on Patreon said thanks for the donations, but I'm not armchair detective. That's pretty funny. Yeah, he's hiding, so I can't do any parodies. That's a pretty good one. Well, guys, thanks for letting me spend the evening with you guys. Y'all have a good night. If you missed the live, just watch the replay, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And you guys take care. Thank you guys for joining me.